Well, it's that time of year again. I have a bunch of canna lilies grow along the fence row, and if you leave them laying there too long, they turn into mush and they make a mess and you can't even hardly mow them. They're right back there. A little more to go. We got one more flower bed. Well, it's computer week this week. I'm gonna build a new computer. I wanted to build one that was specifically designed for editing. The difference between an editing machine and like a gaming machine, you're gonna spend all your money on your video card. Editing machine, you're gonna spend it on processor and memory. Kind of the formula is the more cores and the more memory, the better. You have two phases. One, you have the hardware phase where you research all your hardware, match it all up, and plug it all together. More times than not, it works without a problem, we hope. The first thing, the most important part of your PC is the CPU, because this processor has more cores. And guess what I'm doing? Video editing. What do you want? You want more cores, more memory. These guys have packaged this CPU obviously for marketing. I've never seen anything like this. That's what it looks like. It's wow. I haven't really figured out how to get the CPU out of it yet. The reviews say it's pretty fast. CPU cooler. It has 3 fans on it. It is literally a radiator running antifreeze through just like your car, and it takes the heat off the CPU because CPUs generate a lot of heat. This thing is a beast. For storage, I have an 8 terabyte 7200 RPM drive. And then you have the value pack of case fans. The video card. I'm not even using the 1070. I'm using an old 970 out of my wife's computer. So just shows you, I'm not really concerned about the video card. This video card is basically a mini computer that does the video for your computer. 32 gigabytes of memory. That's the most memory I've ever put in a box. It also glows in the dark. Then we get on to the good stuff. These are NVMe M.2 970 Samsung Pro solid state drives. They're a lot faster than a normal solid state drive, and they plug directly into the motherboard. You have to have a motherboard that will take the chip that you have. It's a Gaming Pro Carbon, although I'm not gaming. I think it's going to be really nice. It's an RGB motherboard. That means there are parts of it that glow different colors. And then you have to have a power supply. And this is a 750 watt gold standard power supply. There's different standards. Gold is the most efficient. So that's the one I'm gonna have. A lot of copper in it, it's very heavy. That's a modular power supply. Corsair makes it. I like that one. This is a LIANLI case. I've been using these for quite a while now. And this one is mostly glass enclosure, so you can see all those glow in the dark things. And when you see it, you'll like it. I got it because it's functional. They historically have always made aluminum cases, but now they're making steel cases. I don't know why they changed. I'd rather have the alloy case myself. That is the lineup of what I'm about to do. Let's get on with it. I'm excited. I want to get this together. Well, this is the CPU. When I do a build, the first thing I open up is typically not the CPU. However, this packaging has got me puzzled. Well, I'm going to build a computer. Show you the first part of a build. Put the power supply in here. That's the power supply. I've got that in. Probably break out the hard drive and stick that in there. I got the hard drive in. We're gonna start setting the motherboard up and getting it ready to put in the case. So we're gonna take the case and set it aside for now. This is the motherboard. What we'll do next with this board is we'll set the CPU, put the memory in it, get all the M.2 drives in it, and get all that stuff together, and then we'll put it in the case. After we put it in the case, then we'll hook up all the fan wires to it, all the cables to the hard drives, and sit and route all those things. Looks pretty cool. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put my solid state drives on the board. They go in here, they're little M.2 mounting fixtures. So, M.2 drives. They're fast and they're not cheap. Next, we're going to install our random access memory, RAM, where the actual work gets done besides the CPU. Now that we've got the motherboard mostly prepped, we'll pull the case up and get ready to install the motherboard in the case. Alright, I have the motherboard secured, the memory, the CPU. I guess put the CPU cooler in and get that ready to mount. This is fancy. Whenever you buy hardware, my advice, do not destroy the package, because you just never know what you're going to have to return. It'll save you a lot of money if you have the package as near as mint condition as possible. And I'll typically hold on to this box for at least a year in case I have to return it. And after that, I usually chunk them. So that's why I'm using my box cutter to very carefully get the package open without damaging it. Fans, mounting hardware, a monster radiator cooler, yet another fan. I'm going to pull the case out and puzzle over this and figure out how I want to get it mounted. Hey, partway into putting it together, I ran across a small problem. I bought a Corsair cooler. Well, guess what? They told me it was compatible. I get it here. Yeah, it's compatible as long as you got the bracket, which they don't have, which Corsair wants to sell you, which Corsair is going to take a week to send it to me. So you guess what I did? I went back to Micro Center. I am at Micro Center and traded it in for one of these, and we're gonna find out if it'll work. Most all of them are made by the same manufacturer and rebranded to another people, and this is no different, except this model here should bolt right up to my CPU, and we can move on and get to Kraken. The assembly part of putting the PC together looks pretty good. You want to see it? I'm going to call it quits. It's almost midnight and been a fun time. This is about building my PC. Well, this is actually day 2 of building my PC. Install the operating system and everything else. Well, I have problems. Last night when I was doing the software, I kept having driver problems with my motherboard. Crashes, you know, DLL errors, all sorts of crap. Yeah, I actually spent near 16 hours yesterday working on it. Finally gave up and took my motherboard back this morning. I'm not happy, I'm tired, and it is 8 o'clock in the morning. If I have to spend that much time on the motherboard, it is going back. I'm at Micro Center, and I'm taking my motherboard back. Yeah, I'm good. I'm at Micro Center. Yeah. Perfect. And what I've got now is a Gigabyte motherboard. X399 AORUS Xtreme motherboard. The box is bigger, it weighs twice as much. It's gotta be better. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna make a whole build again. I'm just gonna put the motherboard in, which will involve me rerouting wires and taking a little time for doing that. And then we go back to where I start and start all over with software installation. We open it up like this, go in there. It says fight on, whatever that means. That thing weighs twice as much. That's pretty cool. Manual with the drivers on it. I'll need that. This is what it looks like. It's running. It's time to go over to the house and try and do the install. I've finally got my computer together. It's not perfect. It has some issues I need to address. This has kept me tied up all week, having to be able to make a video. I don't know if I'll even get one out tonight. At any rate, I'm gonna get it finished. Thank you for watching.
Are you hungry, mister?
Yes, ma'am. This is pretty food. Don't forget it.